Attention, seniors. If you're carrying a debit card in your wallet or purse right now, you need to hear this. A brand new scam, called Ghost Tap, is spreading faster than anything I've seen in years. And criminals are deliberately targeting older adults because they know your cards are often kept in easy-to-reach places. Here's the terrifying part. In just 3 seconds, without even touching you, they can drain your account. And the worst part? You might not notice until days later. My name is Attorney Karen Douglas, and today I'm going to break this down for you. I'll explain exactly what Ghost Tap is, how it works, why your bank may not automatically reimburse you, and most importantly, the real-world and legal steps you can take to protect yourself. So stay with me until the end, because I'll also reveal a simple item you can carry with you that makes you nearly immune to this scam, and it costs less than a cup of coffee. If you're watching right now, please hit the like button so YouTube shows this video to more seniors who need this warning. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, that way, you'll never miss critical updates like this. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had your debit card hacked or compromised? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could save someone else. So what exactly is Ghost Tap? To put it simply, it's one of the most disturbing tricks I've come across in all my years of practicing law. Why? Because it doesn't rely on stealing your wallet, skimming an ATM, or tricking you with a fake website. Instead, it hijacks the very payment technology most of us have come to trust without a second thought. Here's the reality: almost every modern debit and credit card is equipped with NFC, near-field communication. It's the little chip that lets you tap your card at the grocery store, the pharmacy, or the coffee shop and boom, your payment goes through instantly. No swiping, no PIN. Just a tap. Convenient, maybe a little too convenient. Now imagine this: if a cafe can charge you with that technology, so can a thief. All they need is a handheld payment device, the exact same kind you've seen in a barista's hand or with a food delivery driver. And here's the scary part: those machines are not hard to buy online. Picture yourself waiting in line at the pharmacy. Your purse is resting on your shoulder, your card sitting quietly inside. The man behind you inches closer, looking impatient. You barely notice him. But hidden in his jacket pocket is a portable card reader. As soon as he gets close enough, your card, always broadcasting a ready signal, connects through your purse. In less than 3 seconds, he silently charges your account. Maybe it's $35, maybe $40. No beep, no buzz, no notification. You walk away, completely unaware. And it doesn't stop there. These thieves thrive in crowded places: subway stations, buses, shopping malls, concerts, even stadiums, anywhere people are distracted and pressed shoulder to shoulder. They'll hit you for $30 here, $60 there, carefully keeping each charge under the fraud detection threshold that most banks flag, usually under $100. That way, their theft remains invisible, at least for a while. By the time you notice something's wrong, it's often days later when you finally check your balance. Dozens of mysterious charges are staring back at you. And because your card was never stolen, no PIN was entered, no skimmer was left behind, you might even second-guess yourself. Did I spend that and just forget? That confusion is exactly what these criminals are counting on. Why are seniors being singled out? From the perspective of a criminal, older adults are the perfect mark for a scam like Ghost Tap. And over just the past year, I've watched this trend accelerate at an alarming pace. It's not because seniors are careless. In fact, many older adults guard their belongings far more carefully than younger generations. The real reason comes down to opportunity, habits, and awareness. First, accessibility. Think about how you typically carry your wallet or purse. A loose bag hanging from your arm. A wallet tucked into a coat pocket. A purse set down on the counter while signing papers. Or resting on a chair beside you in a waiting room. In each of these ordinary moments, a scammer with a hidden payment reader only needs to step within a few inches to trigger a transaction without you ever noticing. Second, familiarity with technology. Most seniors know about Tap to Pay and may even use it. But what many don't realize is that the chip inside their card is broadcasting a ready signal all the time. It doesn't turn off. And that's the vulnerability. People assume that unless they hand their card over, no payment can occur. Ghost Tap exploits exactly that misconception. Your card is always open for connection, whether you know it or not. I've personally handled cases where scammers intentionally targeted places where older adults gather, community centers, grocery stores during weekday mornings, libraries, or pharmacies. They blend in seamlessly, dressed like everyday shoppers, or even wearing fake staff badges to lower suspicion. In those environments, distractions are everywhere, reading a bulletin board, counting loose change, chatting with a friend. That's when criminals move in. And finally, awareness. Criminals believe, sometimes correctly, that seniors may not immediately check their bank app or may overlook small unauthorized charges. That delay gives thieves more time to strike the same victim multiple times before fraud is reported. I've seen heartbreaking cases where a senior only discovered the problem after receiving a monthly statement. By then, hundreds of dollars had vanished. This isn't just theft, it's a calculated exploitation of trust, routine, and the natural pace of daily life. Now let's talk about the legal gray zone and why banks don't always rush to refund your money. Most people assume that if a fraudulent charge shows up on their account, the bank will automatically reimburse them. On paper, that sounds true. Banking laws in countries like the United States, Australia, Canada, and the UK are written to protect consumers from unauthorized transactions. But here's the catch: the definition of unauthorized is much narrower than most people think. With Ghost Tap, your card is never stolen. It's not cloned. Nobody hacks into your online account. Instead, the payment happens through your very own card chip and antenna, exactly as designed. And that's the tricky part. From the bank's perspective, nothing looks abnormal. The system sees a contactless payment request. Your card responds. No PIN error. No rejected attempt. No clear breach. To the bank, it looks like business as usual. In some of the cases I've handled, banks have argued that the charge must have been authorized simply because the tap-to-pay feature was active and your card was physically present. Proving otherwise is often difficult unless there's security footage or an eyewitness. Add to this another layer: the small amounts. Ghost Tap thieves typically keep each transaction under $100, below most fraud detection thresholds. A $30 charge here, a $60 charge there. That makes banks less likely to launch an aggressive investigation. Timing is another challenge. Many banks require suspicious activity to be reported quickly, sometimes within just 24 to 48 hours. But if you only notice a week or two later, your claim may be much weaker. I've even seen disputes where banks suggest the transaction might have been made by a family member or friend with implied permission. In those situations, the burden of proof falls entirely on the victim. And while it's true that many people eventually get their money back, it's rarely fast or simple. It can mean filing multiple reports, drafting written statements, and sometimes even appealing to financial regulators if the bank resists. For an older adult, that process can be exhausting. And here's the harsh reality: scammers count on that exhaustion. They know some victims, especially seniors, won't have the time, energy, or resources to push the case all the way through. That's why prevention isn't just smart, it's absolutely critical when it comes to Ghost Tap. Because once the money is gone, getting it back can be far more stressful than you ever imagined. So, how do you protect yourself right now? Here's the good news: while Ghost Tap is clever, it's also one of the easiest scams to shut down if you take action today. These criminals rely on just two things. 1. Your tap-to-pay feature is always left on. 2. Your card is carried in a place where their device can get close enough. Break even one of those conditions, and suddenly, you're no longer an easy target. Let's start with physical protection. The single most effective defense is an RFID blocking sleeve or wallet. Think of it as a shield around your cards, cutting off the radio signal before it ever leaves your pocket. With one of these, a thief could press a reader against your purse or jacket, and your card would remain silent. You can find them online, in office supply stores, or even in many supermarkets for as little as $5. If you carry multiple cards, remember, every contactless card should be shielded. Not just your debit card, but also your credit cards, transit passes, even building access cards. Another strong defense, simply turn off Tap to Pay altogether. For some people, the convenience is worth the risk. But for many older adults, disabling it is the safest choice. You can usually do this by calling your bank, or in many cases, by flipping a setting in your mobile banking app. Once it's off, your card only works when inserted and verified with a PIN. Yes, it takes a few seconds longer at checkout, but it eliminates the ghost tap threat completely. Next, think about how you carry your cards. The closer they are to the outside of your clothing or bag, the easier the target you become. If you keep them in a handbag, use a zippered inside pocket. If you keep them in a pocket, choose an inner one, ideally on the side that's hardest for strangers to brush against. Remember, these criminals thrive on quick, low-risk moves. If it takes extra effort to reach you, they'll likely move on to someone else. And finally, build the habit of checking your accounts daily. This takes less than a minute. Open your bank app, scan the most recent charges, and flag anything you don't recognize, even the smallest amounts. Ghost tap thieves deliberately keep charges under $100 to fly under fraud alerts. That odd $12 or $30 purchase may not be a mistake, it may be the warning sign of something bigger. Act on it immediately. I've seen clients who, after adopting these simple steps, went from losing money multiple times a month to going over a year without a single suspicious charge. Prevention really does work, but only if you put it in place before you become a target. What should you do if you become a victim? Even with the best precautions, scams can still happen. And if ghost tap ever strikes you, remember this: speed is everything. The faster you act, the higher your chances of recovering your money and stopping the thief from hitting more victims. Step 1. Contact your bank immediately. Call the fraud or lost card hotline printed on the back of your card. This puts you straight through to the team that can freeze your account and launch an investigation. When you call, be clear and firm. Tell them you suspect a contactless fraud called Ghost Tap and that you're disputing the charges. Ask for a dispute claim number right away. That's your reference code for every conversation moving forward. Step 2. Get written confirmation. Whether it's an email or a letter, make sure it lists the disputed transactions and the date you reported them. This documentation can be critical if the bank later argues that you waited too long or never reported the fraud. Step 3. File a police report. In some places, law enforcement may not chase down every small charge, but the report creates an official crime record. That record can strengthen your case with the bank, and in many countries, it's required if you escalate to a financial regulator. Be specific, note where you were that day, when you spotted the charges, and any unusual encounters you remember. Step 4. Document everything. Take screenshots of your account showing the fraudulent charges. Write down the names of every bank employee you speak with, along with the date and time. Keep copies of every email and letter. This may feel tedious, but in the cases I've worked, the people who kept thorough records were the ones who got their money back fastest. If your bank refuses to refund you, don't give up. Ask for the denial in writing. Then escalate your case to your country's financial watchdog. In the U.S., that's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. In the UK, it's the Financial Ombudsman Service. In Australia, the AFCA. These agencies can independently review your claim, and their involvement often pressures banks to reconsider. And finally, once the crisis is under control, lock your doors against the next attack. Replace your card. Disable Tap to Pay if you haven't already. And invest in RFID blocking protection. Ghost Tap thrives on surprise. But once you've lived through it and put the right defenses in place, you become a far less attractive target for scammers in the future. And before we wrap up, let me share something practical, something so simple, it almost feels like a trick in itself. There's an everyday item that can make you almost immune to Ghost Tap. And it costs less than a cup of coffee. In fact, In some places, you can even get it for free. What is it? An RFID blocking sleeve. It looks like nothing more than a slim paper or plastic cover. But inside, it's lined with a special metallic layer that blocks the radio waves criminals rely on. Slip your debit or credit card into one, and suddenly, that invisible signal your card constantly emits goes silent. Many banks and credit unions actually give them away for free if you ask. Others can be found online for just $1 or $2. Some even come bundled when you order checks or open an account. And here's the best part, you don't need to replace your wallet or spend money on fancy gear. Just slide the sleeve into your purse or pocket and your card is shielded. Think about it, for the price of a cheap cup of coffee, or for nothing at all if you pick one up from your bank, you can turn your debit card from a wide-open target into a fortress. It's one of the simplest, lowest-cost steps you can take. And yet, it could be the one thing standing between you and a scammer silently draining your account in 3 seconds flat. We've covered a lot today. You now know what Ghost Tap is, how it works, why criminals target seniors, the legal gray areas that make it so dangerous, and most importantly, the steps you can take to protect yourself starting tonight. Here's the truth, scams like Ghost Tap thrive in silence. They depend on people not knowing, not talking, not warning each other. But by staying informed and prepared, you take away their power. A simple RFID sleeve, turning off tap to pay, checking your accounts daily, these are small actions, yet they build a shield around you that scammers can't easily break. But this isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about protecting your community. Every time you learn something like this and share it, you create a ripple effect. You may save a neighbor, a friend at church, or even a family member from waking up one day to find their savings drained. So if this video helped you, please take a moment right now to hit the like button, because that tells YouTube to show this warning to more seniors who need it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, that way, you'll never miss critical updates about scams, safety, and financial protection. And finally, I'd love to hear your story. Have you ever been a victim of card fraud, or do you know someone who has? Leave a comment below. Your experience might be the very thing that opens someone else's eyes before it's too late. Together, we can make these invisible scams visible and stop them in their tracks. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.